Are you someone that freaks out at the idea of singing in front of other people? Like, thinking about singing in front of other people is like one of the most terrifying things you can think of. Well, what if I told you that you could sing fearlessly in front of other people? Like, for real. What if you could get in front of other people and sing your heart out without that fear just constantly circling your brain, telling you you're not good enough? I know that that sounds absolutely impossible. You're probably like rolling your eyes at me like, okay, yeah. But what if I told you that it wasn't actually that far off of an idea? My name is Veronica Kokos, and I'm a voice teacher located here in the Richmond, Virginia area, teaching students locally as well as students across the nation online. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some tried and true tips for working with your singing fears instead of shying away from them. And yeah, that's right, I said working with your singing fears, which I know sounds pretty crazy. But here's the thing, trying to just get over your singing fears doesn't work. It's like if you were crying and you were upset and someone came along and said, just get over it, think positive. That doesn't work. So here's my method for dealing with singing fears when they rear their ugly heads. Step one is to acknowledge your fears and let them know that you're listening to them. This may sound weird and a little bit far out there, but think of it this way. You are your own best friend, and think of your best friend in real life. If they were scared of something, if they were upset about something, you would let them know that you hear them and that you're there for them, right? The same thing goes for your own personal fears. The second step is to get curious and ask your fear what it's trying to tell you. This may seem a little weird, but I can guarantee that your fear is trying to get your attention somehow for something. Maybe it's something that happened in the past that happened to you. Maybe it's something in the present that it's trying to bring your attention to. And I'm not saying to go too deep here. You know, if there's something really serious that it's trying to draw your attention to, that's definitely something for you and a therapist or other mental health professional to work on together. But all we're doing here is really to bring understanding and perspective as to why you may be reacting this way. The third step is to soothe yourself. Let this fear know that you're there for it, you understand it, and that you're going to be there for yourself. Really giving yourself some reassurance that these feelings are only temporary and that you're there for yourself. And as part of this step for soothing yourself, I really recommend doing some deep breathing, some gentle movement, maybe even screaming out, whatever it is. It's really crucial that we come back into the body, that we kind of become present to what's going on physically, so that way we can kind of get out of our head a little bit. So to wrap all of that up, there are 3 things that I recommend when your singing fears pop up. The first one is to acknowledge those fears. The second step is to ask those fears what they're trying to tell you and bring some understanding to the situation. And then the third step is to soothe yourself. And you can totally do these before a performance or whenever these singing fears rear their ugly head. One thing I do want to state here, though, is that if you're going through something really difficult mentally or emotionally, I highly recommend seeking out a mental health professional, whether that is a therapist or another licensed mental health professional. I recommend seeking someone out that you can work with, so that way you can work through those difficult emotions and thoughts together. Try this process the next time your singing fears come up, and you know, it may be frustrating at times. It might be really hard to do these practices, but that's okay. The most important part is that you are patient with yourself and that you give yourself space and time to really work through this process. And if you'd like more help navigating your singing fears, come join me in the Curious Singer membership. I actually include mindset materials and meditations as part of the program, and I would love to see you there. You can find more details on this program in the description. In the meantime, like, subscribe, and happy singing, y'all.